Since the 2019 release of Planet Zoo, there have been 14 individual DLCs, plus the Deluxe Upgrade Pack. In fact, the first DLC, the Arctic Pack, was released only 1 month after the game came out, so many players didn't spend a lot of time with the base game only. We get several new packs every year, and to purchase all of the content in the game, you'd end up spending over $160. And to a beginner, or someone who has just purchased the game, that's a lot of money. So, do you really need to have DLC to enjoy the game? Let's start with the stats. The base game comes with 75 animals. That's 52 habitat animals and 33 exhibit animals. I would say that the base game roster of animals is pretty great. You have most of the big ticket animals that you'd think of in a zoo. You have elephants, tigers, hoofstocks, pandas, and a lot of cool other ones. However, there are some that are lacking in the base game that can only be accessed through DLC. Most notably, animals like the polar bear, meerkat, American alligator, just to name a few. A lot of people who play Planet Zoo are hardcore animal nerds, and if you're looking for some more niche species, you may have to fork over some cash for DLC. In my personal experience, I haven't purchased most of the Planet Zoo DLC until relatively recently, and I lived. In fact, I had a great time. The only pack I felt like I really needed at the time for animals' sake was the South America pack, for the giant anteater, of course, one of my favorite animals. For this video, I experimented building a few habitats with just the base game. I have to admit, it felt weird limiting myself in such a way after playing for quite a few months with almost all of the DLC, but I had no issue making my own little zoo roster. I decided to build for flamingos, mandrills, hippos, zebras, and ostriches, which is a great little mix for an African section in a zoo. And I would argue though, to a newbie or casual player, you don't need more than just the base game to play. 52 different species is quite a lot to build a habitat for, especially if you get really detailed with your builds, which brings me to the next topic. The entire gameplay of Planet Zoo is based on creativity. The building system, like Planet Zoo's predecessor, Planet Coaster, is incredibly overwhelming to start out with. I gave up on the game for a while after purchasing it because of how much work it was going to be to get my buildings looking good. Even with just the base game, there is a massive variety of building pieces. During the course of this video, I had absolutely no challenge making cute buildings, walls, climbing sets, and decorations. While DLC like the Europe pack adds a lot of small items for fine details, I would argue that DLC building sets are not at all required to enjoy the game. If you spend a decent amount of time and effort, you can design your own modular building sets using just the base game pieces that can be copied and pasted all around your zoo. And then there's the Steam Workshop, which has everything you could ever want in terms of building. There are so many awesome building sets on there. I love using workshop items in all of my builds, especially for things like signage or fences. There's more than enough blueprints on there for just the base game. One thing to mention about Planet Zoo DLC is that it does not add any new gameplay mechanics. This is a good thing. When DLC is released, there's usually a pretty big gameplay update that releases for free alongside it. So really, DLC isn't going to change the way you can play the game, only what animals and pieces you can use. And that's something that I really like about this game. If you're looking to spice up your game for free, let me introduce you to modding for Planet Zoo. This is a great way to supplement animals that you want in game. One of my favorite animals of all time, the Gerenuk, isn't part of the game, but fortunately through modding, I can add it into my builds. Now, it won't stand up on its hind legs, but I think like many other animal mods, it's a beautiful addition to the game. On Nexus, there are over 900 new animal mods for Planet Zoo. Now, it won't give you the DLC animals, obviously, but there are tons of options, even things like extinct animals, hybrid animals, and even aquatic animals. Additionally, there are a number of modder-created expansion packs on Nexus. These give you a multitude of building pieces. Some of my favorites are these concrete pieces from the JWE pack, all of these little reptiles and amphibians from the exhibit prop pack, and of course the faux rock pack. You will have no shortage of building pieces by adding these mods into your game. I also recommend installing the free build mod, which gives you free placement for pretty much everything. Overall, I love Planet Zoo DLCs. They add so much content into the game. However, they are definitely not required to have a great experience playing the game. When I created my mini zoo for this video, I had a wonderful time building for all of these animals. My recommendation is get the DLC only if you think you really want to play with the specific animals or pieces in that particular pack. DLC is absolutely worth it, and you can get it at a great price on sale, but don't feel pressured pressured into buying everything, especially if you're new to the game. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have anything to add to this conversation or disagree with me, feel free to leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear what you guys think about this topic. And while you're down there, don't forget to leave a like. If you want to see more content like this, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.